Good morning and hello to everyone. I'm about to go filming in town, so I've got just a few minutes to show you quickly what's in my bag. This is a brand new bag that I bought recently that I use to carry just this camera. I'm using the camera now, so I'm just going to take a quick video on my iPhone. This is the camera that I use. It is a Panasonic GH4. I've got a Rode VideoMic Pro, which is the microphone I use, and the lens I have is a Panasonic Leica 15mm DG Summilux lens. It helps me get a really nice wide angle, nice and close to the camera, and get really close into my subject, and also still get a really good depth of field. I know that sounds like jargon, just ignore it. Other stuff that goes in this camera, I mean, I'll also have my GoPro. This is my Apple Pencil. I bring this around with me because I'll also be bringing my iPad Pro. Got a mini tripod. I use this with the microphone, which I forgot to pack. Thanks for reminding me that I need to bring this. My current favorite brand of mint. Just give you a nice close look at Mintia Breeze. Don't know if that's relevant. Inside each battery I have a tiny piece of paper, and that paper helps me know which batteries are full and which ones are empty. And that's one of the benefits of the Samsung Galaxy Edge over my iPhone. Unfortunately, the iPhone doesn't have a removable battery. I'm gonna miss my train, so I will catch you later. Okay, I've arrived at Shibuya Station and we are going to be doing a bit of filming here first today. I'm going over to the Hachiko meeting point, which is where pretty much everyone meets everyone in Shibuya. There's basically a statue of a dog. I'll show you the dog. This is where everyone's taking pictures of the dog. Oh! Jan! Hello! Check you out in your getup.
Hey, I'm prepared. I'm dressed Pokemon trainer style today.
Looking awesome. Check me out, the dog. So basically, this is the dog that got left behind, and his owner never came. No, it's true, isn't it? His owner never came back, and he just waited for.
No.
That is the story of Hachiko.
No, what happened?
No, wait.
He was a stray dog.
He was a stray dog.
The owner took him on.
Yeah.
And the dog every day came with him to the station and waited for him to come back and then walk back with him. The owner passed away, but the dog came to the station and waited for him for the rest of his life until he died.
Right. So I was right. Ta-da! Shibuya Crossing. It was probably a lot busier about a couple hours ago when people were actually on their way to work. I was just telling Kathy Cat how I'm not obsessed with Pokemon Go, and that, you know, I wouldn't use things like Pokevision.
Really play it.
And then she said she found Jigglypuff, and I instantly turned on and thought, I've got to get Jigglypuff.
You love Pokemon Go.
I love Pokemon.
You're in a closet.
She lied. There is no Jigglypuff. No, you're right. I found it.
Sweet.
Found it, Jigglypuff. Oh, let's turn AR off. No. Let's just catch it on Kathy Cat.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Colorful.
Hello. Let's get it. Oh, that is amazing. Check out what it's done. It's actually
sweet. Yes, you got it. Sweet.
Silent celebration.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you all fall asleep and then draw on your faces.
Exactly.
Whatever.
the troll Pokemon.
Exactly.
That's all it is, really. I don't have to play Pokemon Go for the rest of the year now because I've got the Pokemon. I was just walking down a staircase, and this girl here says, "Oh my God, a Squirtle!" And we have to stop mid-staircase. Like, we haven't even made it all the way to the end of the staircase. And it's just occurred to me what Pokemon Go is. It's like having a pet. It's like walking around with a pet that has to stop and smell things every now and then. Oh, I get the scent of a Pokemon here. Just spinning around, looking for things.
You're just comparing me to walking the dog.
A little bit. Are we allowed to move on now, or do you need any more business that you need to do here?
Don't say business, oh God.
Check out this Dragon Quest van. Very confusing, this whole Pokevision app. Testing it out today, so it'll be really interesting to see in the Let's Play Japan video whether it's actually been working. I have a feeling we're gonna arrive and there's gonna be nothing there. Shinjuku, everyone. This is a busy place. Certainly, you don't want to be holding a GoPro and walking around in this part of Tokyo because it's just so easy to bump into people. Guess what I'm sitting under? I'm not actually 100% sure what it is, but thanks to Pokemon Go, or rather, according to Pokemon Go, it is monolith building object. And I love
very specific there.
Yeah, I love the word objet in Japanese because it doesn't. I don't think it means anything apart from sculpture.
Object.
Oh, it just comes from thing. It's just a thing. Let's give you another nice look at the thing. Thanks Pokemon Go for showing me where I am and what I'm sitting under. It's kind of nice actually though, to not have to find a sign that's telling me what this is. I've got a little little culture app. What is going on with this thumbnail? And if you click it, like
whoa.
Is this the only angle that you can take a picture of this or what? I feel like there are more tasteful angles that you could have taken. All right, everyone, I have finished most of the shooting for today. It's already evening. It took quite a long time to get all the videos done. I had a great time running around Tokyo doing more Pokemon Go stuff, and I thought I would just show you where I am. I'm at Ikspiari. I think it's the shopping center which is attached to Disneyland in Tokyo, basically. It's called Tokyo Disneyland, and that's where the monorail will come. You'll see the train, it's kind of actually 3 different parks here, or 2 different parks. I'm not 100% sure. There's Tokyo Disney Sea and there's Tokyo Disneyland, and you can choose which one you go to when you arrive by taking the monorail. If you don't want to go to the parks, you can actually just go to Ikspiari and go shopping. There's an entire department store in there, and there's also a movie theater and all sorts of stuff. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of the inside. Lots and lots of shops that you can enjoy. I don't know if Disneyland is like this in other places. I've been to Tokyo Disneyland Paris before, and I've been to Disneyland and Disney World in America when I was there, but I can't remember it because I was a child. I don't remember there being this Ikspiari thing, this shopping center, which is basically, like, it didn't even occur to me that people would go to Disneyland to not go to Disneyland. They would go to Disneyland to go to the shopping center next to Disneyland. And even these shops, there's a lot of totally normal shops, the type of things that you would just find, just Ugg boots, shops, shoes, that sort of thing. Completely normal stuff. You would think that maybe the shopping center next to Disneyland would all be Disney-themed shops, but actually not. I mean, look, guess, I'm so cool, me and my friends. And also there is a movie theater. I have actually been here to see a movie before because it's quite nice and it's right next to Tokyo, and a little bit, well, it's not calmer. There's just less people working here. Most of the people walking around, as you can see behind me and in front of me, are people who are relaxing because they've been shopping and they've come here on their day off. So it's quite nice if you don't want to be surrounded by people in white shirts and blazers doing their work. If you want like a place that's nice to relax, that's not quite in Tokyo, just get on the train to Maihama and come and chill out at the Disney area. Talking really quietly for a reason, because you're about to see what happens when I speak really loudly. This is what happens when I speak loudly. I think that's what's called a slapback echo. And watch, when you walk out of that tiny area there, the whole echo stops. Ah, that was mad. I can kind of think of all the physics that's going on behind it. That was good fun. A good place to get stones. I've come to the bit where I can reenact all of my dreams of wearing a gold dress and meeting the Beast. Actually, it doesn't look anything like that scene from Beauty and the Beast, but I'll tell you what, that does. This is where I should wear the gold dress and meet the Beast. This is definitely the place I would have it. And then the next scene is you're gonna see me drinking soup with a dog, a big man dog. This is my present to myself for getting through the day of work. It's apple juice, sparkling apple juice, though you don't want to drink too much because the sugar in apple juice is actually probably more than you expect. Alright, it's been quite a long day doing the shoot in Tokyo, quite a lot of videos to record and also playing Pokemon Go and also trying to record it at the same time as make videos and also be the cameraman and also get permission from people to film, and there's a lot of things that have to happen. Plus, there's also the complication of being in Japan. I think filming in the West and filming in Japan are quite different things. You have to get quite a lot of permission from people before you film them, and if they don't want to be on camera, you got to make sure that you censor out their face or like to be careful. I do want to talk about Pokemon Go because wow, today, that moment when Jigglypuff arrived, I thought, what has come over me? Like, I actually thought this morning, this is quite a coincidence actually, I thought if Jigglypuff were to arrive, I would just go for it. I'd be like, I have to get Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff is the one. When I was sitting there with my coffee and Kathy Cat said to me, she's like, oh, I just found Jigglypuff. I was like, I had just been talking to her in conversation about how I don't feel controlled by Pokemon Go. And then suddenly, and this is what happens with video games, they snag you at a very particular point. And for me, it's nostalgia. And in fact, I think probably for a lot of people playing Pokemon Go, it's the nostalgia point. So even if you're not interested in mobile games or you're not interested in games at all, there will be a point at which Pokemon Go will try to snag you. And they have 151 ways to do so with this first game. So that was a really interesting experience today, and one that I feel a little bit ashamed of. I felt like, oh, I had just been talking about how proud I was to be in control of my nostalgia, and yet, who is really in control of their nostalgia? I had such a crazy experience today walking up to strange people, not walking up to strange people, walking up to strangers and saying, are you playing Pokemon Go? And just having that, yeah, I am. How can I help you kind of response from Japanese people. And this is not something I do normally. In fact, I don't have an excuse to walk up to people randomly and just say, hey, let's chat about something, unless they're holding a Brompton. If I see someone with a Brompton, I can go straight up to them. And by the way, today I did. I found someone who was walking around with a Brompton. But to go up to Japanese people and say, oh, are you playing Pokemon Go? Oh, can we talk about it? In fact, can we make a video about it? And for them to be so responsive and to say, yeah, sure, I don't mind being on camera. Like, you know, Japan has that reputation for always wearing those medical masks because they don't want to be seen on camera or they don't want to be recognized, and Pokemon Go has been one of those things that has been breaking down that barrier. Of course, all the things that I say in previous videos still stand. I'm still worried, and in fact today with the Jigglypuff thing, I'm worried even more about where the lines is for me between Pokemon Go and myself and my ability to just not play it, but then it got me with the nostalgia. Here's the best way to describe what's happening in Japan. It's like they've taken the experience of being on a train and they're doing it outside. When you're on a train in England or when you're on a train in Japan, you sit there silently next to other people. Maybe there was a time when people used to talk to each other, but in London, I don't think you don't just strike up conversations with random people. We all just sit very, very silently, but very, very closely packed. It's like we are all definitely in this place together, but we are not going to communicate because it's a train. You're not supposed to bother anyone near you. I mean, I don't really think that's a good thing or a bad thing. That's just how society is at the moment. And what's interesting is that now I feel like that experience has come out into the open. It's like people are now crowding together, finding anywhere that they can sit because they want to sit down for maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes and play Pokemon Go, maybe by themselves or with friends, but they are closely packed, not necessarily saying anything to each other, but feeling very much in the same place. And that's just the start. I'm sure that from now on, the culture will continue to open up and open up and open up until soon, even in Japan, it will be a place where people are just turning to each other and go, hey, what have you just caught? Oh, is there a Pikachu nearby? Oh, I'm gonna catch it too. Oh, hey, let's hang out later or something. All of those positive things that you guys have been saying this whole time about Pokemon Go, they hold true even in Japan, I've noticed. So very, very, very interesting. Slightly random thought process because I'm very, very tired, but let's look at the comments and see what you guys have been saying. Okay, this seems like quite a simple comment, but I think it'll be really, really helpful to a lot of you guys out there who are learning music or learning skating or learning anything. Jason Esteban says, keep it up, skating is one of those things where you suck, then randomly you start getting good after being bad for a good amount of time. That seems like such a simple comment, but it is so true for almost everything that I've tried to do. And it's not that, I'm not trying to say like I eventually actually got good at a lot of these things, but the things that I did finally become proficient at, I would say that I started and I was just awful for the longest time, and watching other people excel at a steady rate just made me feel disappointed in myself. Like I had let myself down, like I know I'm better than this, I know I have the ability to do this, and just being unable to do it. I have found that for me at least, there will be a certain moment where you click and you get it, right? And you will advance like this. And then from that point, then you will see the steady incline of progression in your abilities to play music or skateboard or to program or to draw or to play video games or anything. Do not be afraid if you're finding that you're not progressing at all, because I think it's just perceived. There's all of that belief. You see other people's progress because they've been doing it for maybe a few weeks earlier than you are, and you just think, I should be doing this, but I'm only doing this. From where you are standing now, it looks like you're not going anywhere, but it's just it's a match between what you expected would happen and what is actually happening, and what is actually happening is this, but you feel like you're just doing this, and then actually you'll realize that you're here. So it's not that you actually jump in ability, it's just more like there's a realization point. It's that your abilities finally catch up with where you believed your standards should have been, and that's why I feel like there's that perceived gap. I don't have a lot of time to talk about it right now, but there is an excellent video on the internet by Ira Glass, and he talks about storytelling, creative work, and he wishes that they would tell beginners this, that you're not actually bad at the start, it's just that you have taste, and your taste is good and it never dies. And when you make your first creative work, it will look and feel bad, but that's because you still have good taste. You know that what you're making isn't the same standard as what you thought you were capable of. And then the kind of summary of that story was that if you just continue to make work, just continue to write, continue to program, continue to draw, continue to practice your music. Make sure you're doing it every day and always doing it, because you will eventually get there, and you just have to wait until that point where your taste and standards actually reach the point where your ability meets it, because until that point you will feel like you're not going anywhere. Sorry, that was quite a long explanation, but it was something that I feel very passionate about, and I think maybe this commenter, Jason Esteban, maybe you probably didn't realize how much that would resound with me, but this was a really great comment. Alright, unfortunately, because it's so late, I'm just gonna have to end the video there. I would love to continue and do even more comments, but I think just because today was a particularly long one and went longer than I was expecting, I got more done than I was expecting, but also just lasted a bit longer than I was expecting. I'm gonna end the vlog there, but thank you very much for watching. I hope that this has been useful. I hope you enjoyed seeing all the different places that I went today. I certainly was surprised, and you know, I'm always redefining how I feel about Pokemon Go. So yeah, don't forget to comment, subscribe, share the links and all that great stuff, and hopefully I will be able to say goodbye before I fall asleep in the middle of this video. See you next time. I'm a schizophrenic, and so am I. Vaporeon at the Kamisu General Park. Let me show you what the future of amusement looks like. Laptop down. Hey, come back, come back. I can hear it breaking.